Today, I want to start with just simply talking about the objection process as a whole. So many people in sales, when they get an objection, they shut down. And so many people in sales will tell you, I'm just not good at handling objections. What you've done is you've convinced yourself so much you're not good at it that you make no effort to get better at it. And that's what holds a lot of people back. And when you think about objections, you should never get stumped on the same objection twice. The first time you got it, you were surprised. You didn't know it was coming. You weren't ready for it. Okay, stumped you. You didn't know what to say. But if you get stumped the second time, it's just being lazy. Because now you know that objection might come up and you made no effort to prepare yourself for it. So with every objection, the first time's okay. But after that, you should figure out, what do I wish I had said? And then you practice it and you get good at it so you're ready for it the second time. And I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but the reality is this. There's probably an objection that you got the first week you started selling that you still don't know how to handle. And if that's the case, I want you to really reflect on what that says. That says you were more convinced you couldn't handle it than you were willing to put in the effort to learn how to. As you go through objections, the first thing to remember is you can learn how to handle any objection. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to close every sale. It just means you get to extend the conversation and provide them with some additional information that's going to increase the chances of you making a sale. And there's a limited number of objections. There's only a handful. The reality is we know the ones that we're going to face regularly. We're going to face the I need to think about it, and we're going to face the I need to talk to somebody. Those are two that are going to make up over half the objections you handle. And so knowing how to handle those there, but then you get into the others. You get into the I get all my business by word of mouth. You get into the I've got all the business I can handle. I mean, you've got a few others that come up pretty regularly, and you need to know how to handle them all. Because once you master handling all of them, you walk into every appointment knowing you're fully ready. No matter what they say, you're ready for it. And that should be your goal as a salesperson, to know what you're going to say on all of them. And the truth is, if you were to dedicate 3 days to doing nothing but mapping out and practicing how you handle the varying objections, you're going to be fully prepared for everything. The main thing to remember with objections is they represent usually an insecurity or a lack of knowledge on the part of the customer. Recognizing that and knowing that, the steps are, first, you want to validate that objection. Understand that no client wants to say stupid things. No client wants to make bad decisions. Every single person you're meeting with has the best of intentions of doing what is best for their business. Now, if they don't have all the information or they don't have the confidence to make the right decisions, it'll stop them from moving forward. But they don't intentionally make bad decisions. The objections are usually based on a lack of information or a lack of confidence to make a decision. So the first thing you have to do is validate their objection. It is real in their eyes based on what they know. Next, you have to provide new information or an alternative belief that is logical, and you have to do it confidently. If you provide an answer to their objection that makes sense and is said confidently, it will get through. Logical makes sense. One of the things that people get hung up on is they think there's an absolute right thing to say. And as we talk about all the time, we're so terrified of making a bad decision or saying the wrong thing that we don't say anything. When it comes to handling objections, if it is logical, it's the right thing to say if you say it confidently. It may not be the absolute best thing to say, but it's the right thing because the alternative is not to address the problem and nothing happens. Better to say anything you can think of that's logical with confidence than it is to not address it at all. And then you come back to asking for the sale again and moving deeper. It's a cycle. Ask for the sale, get an objection, answer the objection logically and confident, ask for the sale. And you repeat that cycle several times. Well, it's not pushy if they now have more information than they had before because you've provided them with additional information. Now you can ask for the sale again. An objection is not a no. An objection is a I need more information, or I want to know if you know more information. A lot of times it's a test. People want to see if you, in fact, know what you're talking about, if you, in fact, understand your product and believe it can help them. They feel like their job is to make sure that they anticipate any problems. They did their job by questioning everything before they made a decision. And so many times, the only thing that stands between you and a signed contract is showing them you know what you're talking about, answering a detail that they misunderstood, or just going through the process so they can feel like they vetted you properly. And you didn't do those things, so you left a contract on the table.